Hello, my friend. Welcome to Fightmaster Yoga. I'm Lesley Fightmaster, and today's class is a 30-minute Ashtanga inspired practice. We're going to begin sitting and just crossing at the shins. Sit up nice and tall and ground down through your sitting bones as you lengthen through the spine. Lift the chin, widen your chest, your collarbones, bring your hands together. May our practice today bring us strength and flexibility and show us who we are, our best self. And then add your own intention. We'll extend back into child's pose, keeping the arms forward. Straighten out the elbows. Begin to spread your fingers and then inhale, come up onto the knees, tuck your toes for downward facing dog. So for this first one, if you want to bend one knee and the other, bicycling the legs, you may do that. When you're ready to settle in, bend both knees and then stretch out your spine, then your legs. So get a really nice long stretch through the spine. Inhale, plank pose, top of a push-up. Knees can be up or down here. As you exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Hands by low ribs, come to cobra on your inhale, just a little baby cobra. And then tuck the toes, lift up and back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Arms are shoulders distance and the feet hips width apart. Looking forward, we'll step the feet forward. On your inhale, bring hands to shins, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold in, bending the knees as needed. Press through the feet, rise up, look up, lengthen. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So Ashtanga inspired, it's not the traditional Ashtanga, but you may recognize some. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold over the legs, bending knees as needed. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, step back into plank and lower through chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than the elbows, please. Then inhale into upward dog, thighs and knees off the floor, or stay with cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll breathe here. So at the bottom of each exhale, be sure to draw the belly in and up firmly. Gaze between your knees or your feet. And keep your ears and arms in line. Take one more long breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, step or hop up. Then inhale, lengthen halfway. And exhale to fold, hips over the heels. Inhale, reach all the way up, looking up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, hinge from the hips and fold into Uttanasana. And inhale, look up, lengthen. As you exhale, either step or float back and find chaturanga. So if you float back, land with your elbows bent. Inhale, pressing upward dog or cobra, always your choice. Exhale, lift the hips, come back into downward facing dog, being sure the arms are shoulders distance and the feet are hips width apart. Press into the base of your fingers and lift up through your forearms. And turn your outer upper arms, your triceps back toward your feet, your inner upper arms, your biceps forward toward the front of the mat, gently softening the shoulder blades toward the waist. Firm the legs, look up, step or hop your feet to hands. As you inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Press through the feet, rise up, inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to Samasthiti. Again, sweep the arms up on your inhale. As you exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look up. As you exhale, step or float, finding Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale, press through your hands and feet, shoulders above the wrists. Exhale and tuck your toes, downward dog. Keep pressing the weight up toward the hips, reaching it down through the heels. Spin the inner thighs back and keep your heels behind your second toes. So when you look back, you won't be able to see your heels. That'll make sure the outer edges of your feet are parallel. Look up, lightly step or hop up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale and fold. Press through the feet and rise up on your inhale. Stretching tall, and exhale the hands to the heart. Bend the knees this time. Inhale to Utkatasana, chair pose. Then exhale, fold over the legs. On your inhale, lengthen, look up. As you exhale, step or lightly float back. Chaturanga. Then inhale, press up through the hands and feet. As you exhale, downward dog. Now right away on your inhale, step your right foot up by your right hand. Spin your back heel down. Warrior one. Hips and shoulders square to the front of the mat. Exhale. Right away, lower chaturanga. Then inhale, pressing up. And exhale, stretch all the way back. Again, right away, left foot steps, this time back heel down. Warrior one, line up front heel with back heel or wider. Then exhale, ride the breath down again through chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet. Exhale, stretch all the way back into down dog. Try to even out your breath here so your inhales and exhales are equal in length. If that's too difficult, take your knees down and rest. Push the pause button as needed. Take another long breath in. Exhale everything out. Pull your belly in, bend your knees, keep your hips high, lightly step or hop up. Then inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Bend the knees, drop your hips, weight in the heels into chair pose, Utkatasana, then to standing Samastitihi. One more. Bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Keep the gaze forward as you step or float to chaturanga. Then inhale, pressing up. Exhale, stretch back. Remember, right away, inhale, step your right foot up by your right hand. Spin the back heel down. Warrior one, make sure your knee is over your ankle. Exhale and lower again, chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet. Exhale, stretch into down dog. Right away, left foot steps, back heel down. Warrior one, inhale, knee over ankle. Exhale, one long breath through Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale, press through the hands and feet, up dog. Exhale, stretch all the way back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, even out the breath. Take a break, hit the pause button if you like, and just realign your intention, revisit it. Remember, this is just about you and your practice. So whatever works for you is what you should do. Bend the knees, step or hop up, then inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold. Bend the knees, drop the hips, inhale, stretch up through the arms, and exhale to Samastitihi, Tadasana. Come back to the front of the mat, take your feet hips width apart, open the chest as you inhale, hinge forward from the hips as you exhale. Take your big toes with your first two fingers, lengthen, and then fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. So my fingers around my big toes, I'm actually giving them a little bit of squeezing, a little squeeze there for the toes, because there are energy channels in the feet. So I'm stimulating the energy channels. So give it a little squeeze on the toes. That means bend the knees. It's totally okay. Then look up on your inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come up with a nice long spine. Now turn to the long side of the mat. Step the feet out nice and wide. Turn your right leg all the way out. Back toes in. Heel to arch. Hinge from the hip for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Stretch up through the left arm. Press your big toe down on your right foot, the base of the big toe. Maybe grab the big toe if you can reach it. If not, no worries. Draw the front hip under you. Lean your torso back over the thigh. Try to create length through your spine so you get a nice side stretch. Keep the crown of the head reaching forward, maybe looking up, and then come on up on your inhale. Feet to parallel. Now left leg out, back toes in. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Reach out and then down. And again, take the toe if it works. Otherwise, keep your hand on your shin, or if it reaches the floor and that's more comfortable, do that. But lengthen from your left hip crease through your left armpit so you can stretch out your side body. Looking up at the top hand unless it bothers your neck. And then inhale, come up, grab a block if you have one handy. Take it to the inside or the outside of the right foot. Now square up hips and shoulders to the back of the mat. Left arm up, inhale, both legs straight. Exhale, take it to the block. Pull the right hip back and reach up through the right arm for twisted triangle. As you inhale, see if you can create length through your spine. As you exhale, keep your hips steady and twist a little bit deeper. So continue to pull your right hip back. Press to the outer edge of the back foot. Make sure the back leg is engaged. Then press into the big toe mound of the front foot. Inhale, come up, grab the block. Turn and face the front of the mat. Put the block on the inside or outside of the foot. Inside the foot's a little easier. Then right arm up, inhale. Exhale, take it to the block. Pull the left hip back, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, stretch the left arm up. Try to keep your shoulders in line. And again, as you inhale, create length through the spine. Keep the hips steady. Exhale, twist from above your waist. Press into the big toe mound of your front foot and the outer edge of your back foot. Then inhale, come on up. And then exhale back to the front of the mat, Samasthiti. And then inhale, turn to the long side of the mat again. This time, take your feet out a little bit wider. Turn your right leg all the way out. Grab your block if you'd like it. Back toes in, line up heel to arch with your feet. Now bend your right knee over the ankle, then lean forward. Take right forearm to right thigh, or take your right hand down onto the block. Stretch up through the left arm. Reach it in line with your ear, spinning your left tricep forward. So it's, instead of having your armpit really showing a lot, as if you're trying to cover up your armpit with your tricep, with your upper arm. Take another breath here, pressing inhale up, press into the heel, then other leg. Turn the left leg out. Make sure you're lined up heel to arch with the feet here. Take an inhale, exhale, bend the left knee over the ankle, then lean forward, left forearm to the left thigh, or left hand to block or floor on the little toe side of the foot. Reach the right arm up and over in line with the ear. Spin the tricep down so the pinky finger is facing the floor and the thumb is facing up toward the ceiling. Draw your belly in and up as you breathe. To come out of it, press firmly into the front heel, come up, warrior two, and then straighten the legs. Now, you're going to square up hips and shoulders to the back of the mat. Line up heel to heel, left arm up, inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee over the ankle. Then take your left arm across for a twist, pulling the right hip back. You can keep hands in prayer position, or maybe you'll take your left hand down and right arm up and over in line with the ear like I'm showing. That's a little more advanced. So hands in prayer position, pressing in front of the chest is perfect. Take a breath here. Keep pulling your right hip back and press to the outer edge of the right foot. Then inhale, come up. Pivot facing the front. Walk your left foot over to the left a little. So when you bend your left knee, your heel to heel are wider. Lean forward, hook your right arm across. Press palms together like a prayer twist, or right hand down to the floor or a block, left arm up and over. As you're twisting, remember to continue to pull your left hip back. So as best you can, you'll twist from above the waist. Pressed into the front heel and through the outer edge of your back foot. Draw your belly in. Inhale, come on up. And then back to the front of the mat. Finding Tadasana again. And now to the long side. Take your feet parallel this time. Toes point in a little bit toward each other. Hands on hips. Inhale. Hinge from the hips. Fold. Exhale. Now look up. Inhale. Lengthen. And exhale, the crown of the head reaching toward the floor. May or may not touch, doesn't matter. Lift the shoulders gently away from the ears. Now squeeze outer hips and inner thighs toward each other as you breathe, like you're holding a big beach ball between the legs. Shift the weight toward the balls of the feet gently, so it's not all in the heels. One more breath. And inhale, head up. Exhale, bring hands to the hips. Inhale, back to center. Then inhale, take your arms out to a T. As you exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back or hook your thumbs. Open the chest, inhale, look up. Hinge from the hips again, exhale, forward. This time we'll stretch out the shoulders. Crown of the head may or may not reach the floor. See if you can soften your elbow joints a little bit. And then once again, shift the weight toward the balls of your feet. Try to resist the urge of locking out the elbows. I know it's really hard. Keep the belly lifted. Relax shoulder blades. Squeeze the legs toward each other. Come up as you inhale. And release back to the front of the mat in Samastitihi. From here, we will take a variation of, we will take Parsvottanasana. Take the hands behind your back. Either press fists or palms together, then line up heel to heel as you turn the back toward the back of the mat. Inhale, lengthen with straight legs, fold, hinging from the hips as you exhale. Pull the right hip back. If you're wobbly, walk your right foot more to the right. Now, can you lift your shoulder heads a little bit here, making sure the upper back isn't rounding? Breathing here, press into the big toe mound of your right foot. Also imagine you've got a block between your inner thighs and you're holding it there. Inhale, come up with a nice long spine. Turn to face the front of the mat. Walk your left foot to the left a little bit so your heel to heel are wider. Open the chest, lengthen. Hinge from the hips with a nice long spine as you exhale. Keep the crown of the head lengthening toward the big toe and press into that big toe mound on the left foot. Make sure the back inner thigh spins back and firm down through the outer edge of the back foot. Hold that imaginary block between the inner thighs. Come on up as you inhale and then back to the front of the mat as you exhale. And now, Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana. It's a little variation. So, grounding through the right leg, pick up the left foot. Either take it into tree pose or take the heel toward the navel and then across over toward the right hip. Left hand behind. Your back holds on to the right hand. Your right hand's holding on to your right foot. Your left foot. Now, if you can reach around and grab your big toe with your left hand behind your back, then you could fold forward. And slowly release, grounding down now through the right leg. We'll pick up the left, bring it to tree pose, or take it to the navel and across toward the hips. So as I take my hand behind my back and hold on to the right arm, if my left hand could reach my big toe, I could hold on to the toe of my lifted foot and maybe fold forward. Otherwise, we're just practicing our balance. We're getting a little hip stretch. It's all good. And slowly release that. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, fold over your legs. Then look up, lengthen on your inhale. Exhale, step or float, find Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pressing through the hands and feet, shoulders above wrists. Exhale, lift up and back for down dog. As you inhale, step your right foot up by your right hand, spin the back heel down for warrior one. Pull the right hip back, and left hip comes forward. Make sure the knee stays over the ankle, then pull the ribs and belly in. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer than the ones we did during our Seria B's. Let the shoulders release. Keep lengthening through the lower back. So hip bones lift up. Now we're going to line up front heel with back arch and bend the right knee over the ankle this time. So now we've opened into warrior two. Made a little bit of changes with the feet. We moved them from heel to heel alignment to now heel to arch alignment. Lift the back arm as high as the front. Lift the back inner thigh. So now the hips are more opened. Now inhale, straighten the leg, and then we're going to turn all the way to face the back of the mat. Line up heel to heel or wider. Bend the left knee over the ankle for warrior one. So we're bending, we're pulling the left hip back, sending the right hip forward. Draw your front ribs down, lift up through the back ribs, and lengthen through the lower back. And now we'll open to warrior two. So line up heel to arch with the feet. Make sure that your left knee is still over the ankle and moving toward the little toe side of the foot. Back arm is as high as the front arm. Back inner thigh gently lifts up and widen the chest, but let your shoulder blades release. Now straighten the leg. And then exhale, windmill your arms down. We're going to turn all the way to the front of the mat and take a vinyasa. Inhaling to up dog or cobra. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Now looking forward, we'll come and sit. So lightly step or hop and sit down. And extend the legs in front of you. Make sure to sit up nice and tall. Lift the chest. Pull your toes back, firm the legs, and lift your belly. Chin parallel with the floor. Really firm down into the heels. Take another breath here. And then reach for the feet. If they don't reach for the toes. If you can't reach them, hold the legs. Lengthen, inhale, extend forward, exhale, Paschimottanasana. Instead of letting your back round a lot in the upper back, try to lead more with the chest. So when we come forward, we hinge from our hips so that we get a little bit of, hip hinge, so that we can lengthen the low back. Then head up, inhale, and release. Cross your ankles, bring hands by hips, lift your buns up, maybe your feet too, and then sit back down. Bend your right knee, bring your right arm on the inside of it, left hand behind the back. Lengthen, inhale, keep the left leg straight. Exhale to come forward. This is called Marichasana A. Make sure that the bent knee, that foot is a little bit apart from the straight leg, so you have room to wrap the arm around. It's a great shoulder stretch too. Try and roll that right shoulder away from the floor gently. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. Straighten right leg and bend left. Little space between the foot and the leg. Bring left arm on the inside. Right arm behind the back. Lengthen on your inhale. Extend on your exhale. Pull the toes back on the right foot. You should keep that right leg straight, and then see if you can roll your left shoulder away from the floor gently. Press evenly through the sitting bones. We want both hips firmly down on the floor. Belly pulls in. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. Straighten out both legs. Now bend the right knee again. Bring the right arm behind. Left arm up, inhale, and exhale, bring it across to twist. As you inhale, sit tall, and as you exhale, roll your right shoulder back to twist. This is Marichasana C. If you know how to bind it, you're welcome to take the left arm forward and then wrap it around the leg, right arm behind your back and bind. Otherwise, I like it like this. For me, feels good. Head to center, unwind, straighten out the right leg, bend the left, bring the left hand behind, right arm up, inhale, exhale, bring it across and twist. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, roll the left shoulder back. Take the bind if you did on the first side. Make sure that the right toes are pointed up toward the ceiling. Sometimes we forget all about that straight leg and we forget to keep it firm. Head to center, inhale, unwind as you exhale, cross at the ankles, lift your buns up, maybe your feet too, then sit back down. Into Navasana. Sit up nice and tall, feet off the floor. If you need to hold on behind the legs, that's fine. Knees can be bent or straight. Lift your chest, keep your spine lengthened, and pull in your belly. So using belly muscles and hip flexors to hold it. One more breath. Release, cross at the ankles, lift anything up, set it down, and again, Navasana, knees bent or straight. Again, lift your chest. If it's too much, please feel free to hold on behind the knees. One more breath. Release, cross the ankles, pick up anything at all, and then lie down onto your back for bridge pose. Make sure your feet are hips width apart, heels under knees. Press down into the heels, lift into bridge. Chin away from the chest. Roll the shoulders under. Spiral the thighs in toward each other. Keep lengthening your sitting bones toward the backs of your knees. Take one more long breath. And lower down, release. And just rest a moment. We're going to do it again. Feet hips width, again up to bridge. If you take full wheel pose or Urdhva feel free to bring your hands up by your ears and go into wheel. Otherwise, sticking with bridge today is beautiful. Lift your hip bones towards your lower ribs, spiral the thighs in, keep the chin away from the chest. And then lower down slowly. And now with your low back on the floor, lift your legs up. So this will be our inversion today. This is a variation of Viparita Karani. If you have a block handy, you can always put a block at the base of your spine and your lower back as well. So you would come up to supported bridge first and then lift the legs. Otherwise, this is just great too. Just keep the low back on the floor, lift the legs, you have to use your belly muscles a little bit to hold it. And then slowly release, hug the knees into the chest, rock yourself side to side. And then begin to either roll to the right to sit up or rock back and forth a couple of times and come up to seated. Extend the legs in Dandasana once again. And reach the arms up, inhale, hinge from your hips. Find that hip hinge. Lengthen as you inhale, extend forward again, Paschimottanasana. Pull the toes back, firm the legs. Use a strap or hold your legs if it doesn't work to reach your feet. As I always say, never matters how deep you get into a pose, just as long as you feel a stretch. Head up, inhale, and release onto your back for Shavasana. Take a few moments to get comfortable. Just let your feet flap open a little here, arms by your sides with your palms faced up. Close your eyes, release your Ujjayi breathing, just natural breathing. I have a quote from Indra Devi. She was a beautiful yogi. She said, "Yoga is a way to freedom. By its constant practice, we can free ourselves from fear, anguish, and loneliness." Now take a moment or two to relax. I will be back in a couple minutes. Begin to take some longer breaths. Start to move your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. Take a long stretch overhead. Just see what your body feels like. Hopefully it feels really good. Bend the knees, roll yourself off to your right. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up today, taking your practice, taking good care of your body. And slowly make your way up to seated, sitting nice and tall. Let's bring our hands together. Hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Bring your hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And the hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications, sending out this wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/fightmasteryoga. Become a patron because we would love for you to join. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Again, have a great day. Love you lots. Bye.